Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 6.1 Notes Day 2. Today we are continuing our discussion on properties of exponents. Our learning target today is to be able to apply the properties of negative and zero exponents in order to simplify exponential expressions. So just remember the negative exponent property. If the base has a negative exponent, you must move the base to the numerator, the top, or the denominator. Hold on, trying to spell it correctly. Hopefully that's close enough. To make the exponent become positive, okay? So if your exponent's negative, drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, bring it to the top. All right? Remember that the base stays the same, okay? So as we come in and take a look at this, x to the negative second, my exponent's negative, I have to drop it like it's hot. So if I am dropping it down to the bottom, I need to put something on the top. And we would put a 1. So exponent's negative, drop it like it's hot. Okay? Now, I would do the same thing with number 2, the 2w negative third, but remember, I have to distribute first, okay? So the first thing we do is we would add the ones, distribute, so I have 2 to the negative 3, and w to the negative 3. So my exponents are negative. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. So a 1 goes on the top. I have 2 cubed, w cubed, and I would simplify. 2 cubed is 8w cubed. Okay, so yeah, we're starting to throw all of the rules together. Next one. Exponent's negative, drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, bring it to the top. And when I bring that to the top, I don't write over 1. It's just going to be y to the 4th. Okay, so I'm going to add 1s to everything, and then I have to distribute a negative 1. So there's y, there's 2, 1 times negative 1. And now as I rewrite this, my exponent's negative, I drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, bring it to the top. Okay? So those are both to the first, which I don't have to change anything. It just goes 2 over y. All right. And the last rule is the zero exponent property. Okay, the zero exponent property. If a base has a 0 exponent, the base turns into 1. This time the base changes. That's the first time that's happened. The base changes. So if your exponent's 0, the base turns into 1. So simplify x to the 0. Well, my exponent's 0, so my base turns into 1. Exponent 0, my base turns into 1. My exponent 0, my base turns into 1. However, that negative sign is not part of the base. It's on the outside. Okay? So make sure you pay attention to where the negative sign is in an expression. Okay? So for our next one, we would be simplifying this to everything. All of that is our base. And if our exponent 0, the whole base turns into 1. So once again, our whole base turns into 1, but remember, there's a negative on the outside, it stays there. Okay, so if your exponent's 0, your base turns into 1. If your exponent's negative, drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, bring it to the top. So we're going to simplify the following expressions by using the properties of exponents. And remember, we can only have positive exponents in our answer. Okay, so my exponent 0, the base turns into 1. Exponent 0, my base turns into 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Exponent 0, my base turns into 1. Doesn't matter what it is. And if you don't believe me on that one, I have negative 389 to the, to the 0. Sorry, let's do that one more time. Negative 389. Come on, Mr. Grice, get it right. It's 1. Told you. Okay. Exponent 0, my base turns into 1, but there's a negative out front, so that's going to be a negative 1. Number 4 is a favorite on tests and quizzes, okay? So just pay attention to each part of it, okay? The negative 5 stays the same, nothing's going on to it. For the 4, my exponent is 0, so the base turns into 1. Then there's the subtraction sign. Exponent 0, the base turns into 1. And then we just do what it says. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 1, negative 5. Okay, so we just have to be very careful. All right, number 5. Now, my exponent's negative. I'm going to drop it like it's hot, but the 2 was not on the bottom. Or I'm sorry, the 2 doesn't have a negative exponent. So the 2 stays on the top. Okay, so I have the 1/3 times 8. If you don't know that, it's 1/3 times 18, sorry, not 8. And we get 6. Now I have a negative exponent, so that's going to go down to the bottom. But then the x to the 7th, that just stays on the top. There's nothing to go with that. So we have 6x to the 7th over y cubed. So remember, take care of the negative 2/5 and the 10. So in parentheses, negative 2/5 times 10, and that equals negative 4. Negative numbers do not drop, only negative exponents. Exponent's negative, I'm going to drop it down. So a to the first is just a, and then the b cubed stays on top. Okay. So we have negative 6 times negative 7. Negative 6 times negative 7 is a positive 42. Now what I would do with the k's is I would just combine them first, okay? That's 2 plus negative 3. What property was that? Yeah, the product of power where we add them. And that turns 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. And now I have a negative exponent. Now I can drop it. So my final answer is 42, and the K is on the bottom. All right, go ahead and flip it over. All right, number 13. So the -5 and the 3, we multiply those. -15 times 3 is a -45. And when I combine my x's, 3 minus 3 is 0, and those cancel out. So we're left with -45. Okay, so we need to add all of our exponents, 7 minus 2 minus 5, and we end up with w to the 0. Or just like in the last one, they all kind of canceled out. But when they cancel out, w to the 0 is not 0, it's 1. Our exponent 0 base turns into 1. Okay. So I have all the same base, so I can add those together. And remember, if you have trouble with all of that, just do 7 minus 2 minus 10, and we get -5. Okay? So this is a to the -5th. My exponent's negative. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. So if I'm dropping it down, I have to have a 1 on the top, and then a to the 5th on the bottom. As soon as I drop it down, it turns positive. Okay, so we have 8 times -2, which is -16. M squared, and m to the -7th. I'm going to add the exponents to get -5. And then we have -6 and 6, and those end up canceling out. So my exponent's negative, I have to drop it like it's hot. So my final answer is -16 over m to the 5th. Okay, a couple more. All right, let's take a look at this. -12 over 28, that's what I'm going to do first. So I have -12 divided by 28. And remember, I want the fraction, which is -3 over 7. So that tells me the -3 is on the top, 7 is on the bottom. Now I'm just going to look at these kind of one at a time. My m squared is positive. My exponent's negative. I have to drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, I have to bring it to the top. Okay? And now we're going to write our final answer of -3. M's, I have m to the 8th, because 2 plus 6 is 8. And between my n's, n to the 1st and n to the 4th, the top wins, and the top wins by 3. Now, I'm not done with the bottom because there's still that 7. We can't forget about that 7. Okay. So my exponent's negative, drop it like it's hot. The m squared stays up. N to the -4th, it's negative, so I have to drop it down. If they're already on the bottom, bring them to the top. So 4 to the 1st r to the 6th. Okay? Now, on the top, I can't do anything. So we got 4m squared r to the 6th. On the bottom, I can do 2 to the 3rd power. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I can reduce 4 over 8. 4 over 8 is the same thing as 1/2, and I don't need the 1. Okay? So my final answer is m squared r 6th over 2n to the 4th. All right, number 11, I have to distribute that -5 to everything. So 4 times -5 is -20. 2 times -5 is -10. If my exponent's negative, I'm going to drop it like it's hot. If it's already on the bottom, I'm going to bring it to the top. I can't subtract those because they are different variables. They're different bases. And number 12, my exponent is 0, so my base turns into 1. Yeah, that's it. No negatives out front, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? So these guys right here, you're going to try those on your own. And then your homework is the 6.1 practice B. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra Unit 6.1 Notes, Day 2. Thanks for watching.